There's a subtle game playing out all around you, a silent dance of influence and control. It's the reason a coworker's offhand comment can make you question your own value, or why a friend's seemingly helpful advice always seems to benefit them more than you. You're not imagining it. This isn't about grand conspiracies or evil masterminds. It's about the unspoken rules of power, the psychological tactics people use to control you without you even realizing it. These are the hidden maneuvers, the quiet manipulations that shape your decisions, your emotions, and your relationships. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. The first, and perhaps most insidious, of these rules is the use of implied obligation. This is a powerful social currency. Think of the person who gives you an extravagant gift for your birthday, a gift far beyond what you'd expect. On the surface, it seems incredibly generous. But underneath, they've just placed a mental IOU in your head. When they later ask for a favor, even a big one, you feel a strong psychological pressure to say yes. You're not just agreeing to help. You're repaying an unspoken debt. This isn't a transactional exchange. It's a silent manipulation of your sense of fairness and reciprocity. Another classic example is the "I've done so much for you" narrative. A parent, a partner, or a friend constantly reminds you of their sacrifices and efforts. They might not be asking for anything in that moment, but they're building a reservoir of guilt and obligation. When a conflict arises or they want something, they can tap into that reservoir, making you feel ungrateful or selfish for not complying. You're being controlled not by their direct demands, but by the weight of the past they've carefully constructed. Then there's the art of subtle devaluation. This is a slow, steady erosion of your confidence. It can be as simple as a backhanded compliment, like, "That's a great idea. It's so brave of you to suggest it," when they really mean it's risky and foolish. Or the person who constantly points out minor flaws in your work or appearance, not to be helpful, but to keep you slightly off balance. The goal isn't to crush you in one go, but to plant seeds of doubt. Over time, you start to question your own judgment, your own abilities, your own worth. The person doing the devaluing then becomes the authority you turn to for validation. They've made you reliant on them for the very self-esteem they've been chipping away at. This is a common tactic in abusive relationships, both romantic and professional. The abuser slowly convinces their victim that they're flawed or incompetent, making them less likely to leave and more dependent on the abuser's guidance. It's a quiet form of gaslighting, where the goal isn't just to make you doubt your perception, but to make you doubt your fundamental competence. Another powerful tactic is the creation of a false sense of scarcity. This isn't about goods or money. It's about access, time, or emotional availability. The person who is always just a little too busy for you, who takes a long time to respond to texts, or who makes you feel like their attention is a rare and precious commodity. This makes you work harder to get their time and approval. You start to chase them, feeling a thrill when they finally give you a moment of their attention. This isn't because they're truly busy. It's a calculated strategy to make their presence more valuable. They've created a psychological demand for a supply they're deliberately withholding. Think of the partner who makes you feel like their love is a prize you have to earn, or the boss who makes you feel like a minute of their time is a privilege. You're being controlled by your own desire for something they've made you believe is rare and valuable. You also see this in the use of manufactured drama. Some people thrive on chaos and conflict because it puts them at the center of attention. They might gossip, exaggerate problems, or create small crises to get a reaction from you. They're not doing this because they're genuinely distressed. They're doing it to control the emotional landscape. When a coworker starts a rumor or a friend constantly has a new crisis, you're forced to react, to offer advice, to get involved. In that moment, your attention and energy are no longer your own. They've been hijacked by someone else's manufactured turmoil. This is a form of control because it directs your focus away from your own life and onto their narrative. It's a subtle way of making you a supporting character in their ongoing show. A truly masterful, and often invisible, form of control is shame and guilt. This isn't about outright scolding. It's about subtle, loaded comments. "I can't believe you're doing that while I'm dealing with this." I guess I'll just have to manage on my own. These phrases are not direct requests. They're emotional blackmail. They're designed to make you feel bad for pursuing your own needs, for setting your own boundaries, for not putting the other person first. The person using this tactic doesn't have to force you to do anything. Your own guilt will do the work for them. They've weaponized your conscience. This is a common dynamic in families where one member takes on a victim role to control the actions of others. The moment you start feeling guilty for your own choices, you've already lost control. Before we get into the final two rules, if this video is helping you see things in a new way, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow and lets me know that this kind of content is valuable to you. And if you have an example of one of these tactics, share it in the comments below. We can all learn from each other's experiences. The next tactic is conditional approval. This is the person who only gives you praise and affection when you are doing what they want. When you comply, they are warm and supportive. When you don't, they become cold, distant, or critical. This trains you to seek their approval by conforming to their desires. It's a behavioral reward system. Think of the parent who only says, "I'm proud of you," when you get a good grade, or the partner who only seems happy with you when you agree with their decisions. You are constantly striving for their validation, and in doing so, you're surrendering your autonomy. Your actions become a means to an end, getting their positive feedback, rather than a genuine expression of your own will. This is a subtle but powerful way to control someone's behavior by conditioning them to seek external validation. Finally, there's the use of the illusion of choice. This is a particularly sophisticated form of control. You might be presented with 2 or 3 options, and you feel like you're making a free decision. But the person controlling you has pre-selected those options, and all of them lead to an outcome that benefits them. It's a classic sales technique. Would you like to pay with cash or card? The question isn't whether you're going to buy the product, it's just about the payment method. A more personal example would be a friend asking, "Should we go to the Italian place or the sushi place?" when they know you dislike Italian and that the sushi place is their favorite. You feel like you're making the choice, but your options have been carefully curated. This form of control is powerful because it works with, not against, your desire for freedom. You believe you are in the driver's seat, when in reality, someone else has set the destination. Now that you see these rules, you'll start to recognize them everywhere. In your family, among your friends, and in the workplace. The key to breaking free isn't about confrontation. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing the psychological game and choosing not to play. It's about setting boundaries without guilt and understanding that your value isn't dependent on someone else's approval. The next time someone uses one of these tactics, you won't react with the programmed response. You'll see the maneuver for what it is, and you'll be able to respond with clarity and confidence. The more you recognize these unspoken rules, the more you take back control of your own life. If this video helped you, think about someone else who might need to see it. Share it with a friend, a coworker, or a family member who you think could benefit from understanding these unspoken rules. Your awareness can be their liberation.